So yesterday, the Montreal Canadiens announced that they had relieved Marc Bergevin of his duties. And if you're a coach or a general manager working for the Montreal Canadiens these days, I think it's really fitting to say they've been relieved of their duties because Marc Bergevin, even though I'm sure he's sad and upset that he got let go, there probably also has to be a side of him that is relieved that he doesn't have to deal with this mess that he's created anymore. Montreal also let go a couple other people, Trevor Timmins and Paul Wilson. But I'm here just to talk about Marc Bergevin today. Montreal, they did hire Jeff Gordon as their vice president of hockey operations, and he's obviously a guy who does not speak French, I'm assuming, so there's no way he can be the general manager. I just want to say this. If you're the Montreal Canadiens, I don't know why you don't hire the best person available. And I get why they do it in a way, because obviously we all know that they want someone that can speak both languages to the fans because they have a large francophone fan base as well as a large anglophone fan base. Montreal, they need to look at it this way. It's hard enough to win in this league as it is. When you're limiting yourself only to a certain group of people, you're making it a lot harder just because, I'm not saying that a French coach or a French GM can't lead you to the Stanley Cup, so don't get me wrong here. But what I am saying is the sheer volume of good French GMs or good French coaches available, there isn't a lot, right? And you don't want to just hire anyone because they're French. Montreal, I think they're going to kind of have to end up resorting to that. But with that being said, just because there isn't the sheer volume number of French GMs and coaches, it's hard for them to hire someone that's really a good coach. I mean, Claude Julien, I thought he was a good coach. For whatever reason, it didn't work out there in Montreal. Bergevin, he's made some good moves, Marc Bergevin. And I know today a lot of people are probably dumping on him and, dancing on his grave that he's been fired. But I'm not here to do that. Now, has Marc Bergevin, has he made his fair share of bad moves? Yes, he has, absolutely. I'll be the first one to admit that. But he has made some good moves as well along the way. But to finish my point about the French coaches and the French GMs, just hire the best person available, the best people available for those jobs. Montreal, please. This is why I don't know if they're ever going to win a Stanley Cup, just because they're limiting themselves. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not saying that a French coach or a French GM can't bring you to the Stanley Cup, but you're making it a lot harder on yourselves than you have to, Montreal. So please just hire the best person available for the job. Now, after Bergevin's been fired here, this begs the question, how much time left does Dom Ducharme have behind the Canadiens bench? I remember back 3 years ago when the Philadelphia Flyers let go of their GM, Ron Hextall, and it was just a few weeks after that their coach, Dave Hakstol, now the current head coach of the Seattle Kraken, was let go. And the new GM, whoever that might be, he's not going to have an attachment really to Dom Ducharme. Some people have linked Patrick Waugh to the GM position. I would think he'd be better suited for the head coaching position. I think that's a guy Montreal will probably take a hard, long look at. Because to be honest, I think Ducharme's really holding the Canadiens back. I mean, this is a team that their forecheck is not really that present at all. They only want to carry the puck in over the line. They only want to counterattack. Their D is nowhere near aggressive enough to keep plays alive in the offensive zone. They're just not a well-coached team at all, in my opinion. I think most people would agree with that. For Marc Bergevin, well, is he ever going to get a job as a GM ever again? At least not for a long time. I don't think he will. I would be surprised if someone did hire him as a GM. I think I could see him becoming an assistant GM, maybe with another team if he wants to take that job, do that for a few years, maybe prove himself again, and then maybe he finds his way back into being the guy at the head of the helm as GM of another NHL franchise. And like my mom said yesterday when I told her about this news, even though you know how much money these guys are making, it's still always sad to see them get fired. And I totally agree with that. It is sad. I know some people obviously are happy in Montreal. I can see why you're happy in a way, because obviously you want to have a better GM in there. I mean, Bergevin, he definitely had his faults, even though I thought he did a pretty good job. But it is still sad to see a man who set out to do great things, especially for, his hometown team essentially, or his home province team anyways. I'm not quite sure where Bregiven is exactly from in Quebec, but his home province team anyways. A guy who set out with the best of intentions to get this team a Stanley Cup. They came oh so close last year. And to see that dream come to an end for him, it is sad. And, I wish Marc Bergevin all the best going forward. Those are my thoughts on the Montreal Canadiens' biggest change in the front office. Please let me know what you all think in the comments section down below. Also, please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.